Hey guys, it's Mike coming to you live from the Backyard Oasis here in sunny Dallas, Texas, and I've got a fun little camera here. I'm in the pool, so you can check this thing out. This thing is a 35mm film camera. It's an underwater camera. It's designed to go, I think, a maximum 120 feet. It's pretty damn deep. Here's how this thing works. It's called a CNC MX-5, and these things weren't very expensive. I got this from my sister. Actually, she was a scuba diver for a while and had this camera and shot with it a few times with color film. I'm a fan of shooting with this with black and white film. It's a lot of fun shooting with black and white. So here's how this thing works. There's your shutter release button here on the top. You've got a counter right here. I don't have any batteries in it, and I didn't want to put any in there because it kind of runs the batteries down a little bit as you're leaving it just on the shelf and you're not using it. So anyways, that's where your shutter counts and your battery life and so forth is right there. And the little button next to it here is your rewind button in case you need to rewind your film. You do kind of have to pay attention to the rewind action on this because it's a little tricky. It can be because you're shooting underwater, and if you hit a 37th exposure or 36th exposure and it starts rewinding, sometimes you don't know, but you can feel it vibrate a little bit while you're holding it. So what's cool is this came with this green strap here is a regular strap. My sister augmented it with this additional strap, which was cool because it has a clip on it to hook to her BC when she would scuba dive. But then also this spring guy here is amazing because I can actually put it way up on my arm like that and then swim with it. So if I'm out in the ocean doing some snorkeling and swimming around, I have that as an option. You have your traditional viewfinder back here in the back, so you can look through that, and it's a view through. So actually, let me show you this so you can see through it. This is how you turn this thing on. That's the on switch. It's pushing this thing down. It also releases this, which doesn't have to be, it locks up, but it doesn't have to be locked up for it to work. You can do that and turn it back off if you're out shooting underwater and you want to save your batteries and so forth. It runs off of 2 AA batteries that go into the back of this camera. Open this thing, turn it back on here, and you have a 28mm wide angle lens. And your focus on this is just like any other kind of small point and shoot camera, point and shoot. You can't get too close. You don't want to be too far away. You gotta find that real sweet spot. Here's what's cool too. If you're scuba diving and you have a mask on, you just hold it out there and point through that thing. There you go, line it up with the eye and shoot. Also, again, the view through here, so you can see me as you look through that guy. The other interesting thing on this, it has some focus and ISO guidance on the back here for land and for water. I have used this on land because, you know, you're in the pool like this and you're shooting around and you know, it's not a big deal to get it wet because it's completely waterproof. The only challenge when you do that is that you do get water spots on this lens here, and no matter how much you try to wipe it off with a towel or your shirt or get it wet again, you're still going to have those on there. And so when you take a shot, you can kind of see them already on there for me messing with it. When you go to take a shot above water, you will see those on there. So you have the same problem with modern cameras like GoPros and things like that. Same issue. So you just want to shoot it underwater. It takes amazing photos. It has a sensor here. It's a light sensor for the flash, and the flash is automatic. You cannot, I have not figured out how to turn it off or turn it on. It just works, and it takes really good pictures. So I'm gonna take some advice from some recent comments on my YouTube channel, which I really appreciate the comments. Thanks for the feedback on that. I'm gonna include some photos I've taken at the end of this, some black and white film. Probably it's either I shoot Tri-X 400 or Ilford 400 black and white film in this thing, and I've got some developed of my kids swimming underwater here in this pool actually behind me, and it's cool, it's fun. Anyways, these are cheap cameras. You're not going to have to spend an arm and a leg to get one of these. You can actually still, if you look, what's cool about the way this waterproofing works on this thing, it's really waterproof. It's not a fake, it's not this fake bullshit you get from some places. It's actually waterproof. This little clamp here is a pain in the ass to open and close, which is awesome. You don't want to open this underwater by accident. It's ruined. You don't want to open it even on land while it's wet like this, because you'll get water inside of it and ruin it. The camera inside, which is interesting, is a bit of a cheap point and shoot camera. It's nothing fancy. It's not sophisticated in any way. When you open it up, it's obviously designed to go in this case. It's not designed to be pulled out, but if you were to pull it out, it would look like a cheap plastic piece of junk. This case is what's making this camera look amazing. But again, this clamp, push this down, and you have to fish this around, and then it pops open, and then the whole back pops open. When you pop this open, it's only opening to the camera. It's not, you know what? Here we go. I got a towel right here for you guys. I'm gonna risk ruining this camera for you to make a video. So open this up. See how you gotta use two hands. That flips back. It opens up, and there is the inside of this camera. Now, notice there's two levels of sealing here. There's an O-ring seal that goes around here, and you do need to grease that O-ring seal. There's special O-ring grease seal that you can buy at a scuba shop, and you can actually still buy these O-rings. I found online where you can buy them, some OEM O-rings for this thing. So, yeah, it's worth buying one. Also inside of that, there is an additional sealer here, giant O-ring. Yeah, see, I got water in there already. I can't close it up. So, like I said, the camera looks kind of cheap. You put the two batteries in there. There's no battery cover of any kind. This is how you open the film. And you push this little lever down here, and it opens up. Like I said, cheap little point and shoot. There's nothing fancy about this. It has a battery ready for the flash on there. That's it, man. This is just, it's a cool little camera. It's kind of clunky and bulky, but it is waterproof, 100% waterproof, and it takes really good pictures underwater, especially black and white, which I like to do that because I find that color photos underwater, you have to do too much processing to them. And if you remember back in the old school days, if you got your underwater photos, color photos developed at a shop like Wolf Camera or wherever, you had to tell them, and then they had to do a special process to either add or take red out. I can't remember what it is. I don't do it, so. Anyways, I shoot black and white. Well, in black and white's easier to develop. So that is the upside down, the CNC MX-5 point and shoot underwater camera, and pick one up, man. You can get them on eBay. They're pretty cheap. Like I said, the O-rings and so forth in them are, you're not going to find one as nice as that one, because my sister takes really, 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 really good care of her things. That one has been to the Red Sea, I think, in Egypt. So that's a little historical fun fact about this one. It's been to the Red Sea. Taking pictures of dolphins, things like that when she was out. I took it to the Bahamas recently, and I actually shot a video to review it in the Bahamas, but it was so damn windy you can't hear it. So here I am in the pool. It's a beautiful night here in Dallas. Wife's gonna come out here and get in the pool with me in a little bit. Kids are in bed, and we're gonna hang out, have a few adult beverages, and talk about life. So anyways, that camera is awesome. You should get one. At the end of this video, hang on tight, I'm going to add some photos I've taken with this. I've been hesitant to do that in the past for the videos, but I've gotten a lot of feedback that people want that. I was hesitant because I didn't want these videos to turn into critiques on my photography. I wanted these videos to be about the cameras themselves, and not whether or not the monkey behind the camera can actually take a good photo with the camera. So I was a little reluctant, but you know what? I don't care. We're gonna do it because you guys asked. That's what you want. So anyways, check this camera out. Pick one up on eBay. Craigslist, wherever. You can still find them on the internet. They're still super cheap. I think maybe like 15, 20 bucks maybe, if even that you can get one. If anybody's asking for more than that for these things, go somewhere else because you'll find it cheaper. So go be awesome, people. Get out there and shoot cameras, and I look forward to seeing the likes, comments, things like that. Share the video, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. And yeah, share your work with me too. If you've got any amazing feeds of your work on the different social platforms, Instagram is the best one for me. That's where I'm at all the time. I'll put a little picture here in just a second of what my Instagram handle is, and it'll be in the show notes as well for this show. So thanks again, everybody. Go be awesome, and happy shooting. Talk to y'all later.